Hello everyone, this is Sonic Sam. So this is going to be another type of reaction video. I recently gotten, well not recently, it's been a few months now. I got into a YouTuber called Papa Meat. He's has 2.7 million subscribers. He's quite popular already. He goes over a lot of internet topics he sees and it's always really interesting. However, he did one about gooning, and listen, there's a reason why I want to discuss that in particular because I hear it a lot in my comments, constantly on my videos. I mean, I do waifu tier list videos, you know. Even though I will say, I want to make this very clear, I do waifu tier list videos for the memes. I don't really goon that much. I'm actually pretty tamed with my stuff, to be personally honest.
Liar!
And just with myself as well. I just love the memes of it. I think it's funny. I think it's guy humor, if anything. So I know I want to see his reaction to this, what he thinks, you know. He always kind of goes really deep into this, and I also want to learn the actual meaning of it, since in my day saying goon meant a whole different thing than what it is now. So let's check it out.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat. Here and there, but I think years, but it's just, you know, other words. Master Chief. Diddling yourself, playing around, people's instincts to, you know, as human beings, we have all sorts of temptations, you know, food, drugs, alcohol, you name it. We are people that are plagued by temptation. We live our lives enjoying these things in moderation so that it doesn't ruin our lives. We like to put our finger in the honey jar but not get a handful from time to time. Is it a sin to taste the forbidden fruit? You do have to be careful.
Starts with one finger, you put two.
It starts with your pinky, and all of a sudden, now you're elbow deep. Which one that's plaguing the internet as a whole, I would say, is horniness. People are horny. People are riled up. I mean, we live in an age where anyone with a smartphone can look up videos of perfect-looking people doing just about anything they can think of. I can't even imagine if you gave a caveman a phone, and he could articulate the thoughts of him being like, oh, brick heavy brick. It'd be awesome. And for
I think he's right. He's right about that. I've been around the internet long enough, since I've been on the internet since I was like 5. You can basically find anything on the internet. Trust me, I went down the rabbit hole myself a few times looking at stuff I probably should not have been looking at when I was young, and yeah, it probably put some scars on me a little bit, but yeah, no, you can find almost anything on the internet. So I mean, I definitely think for people that are not less, it's actually active or young enough, or they shouldn't be, the internet is a good plugin. Trust me, I was all over here looking at Lola Bunny. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, Lola Bunny, you're looking kind of fine. So we all had our things, because the internet wasn't all that much, it wasn't as big. I couldn't just go to Google and put in Lola Bunny. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't exist back in the day.
Some, this temptation becomes far too enticing, leading to what might be one of the saddest and sometimes most life-ruining habits of all time. Gooning. We're just going to talk about gooning and the destructive habits, the dark side of gooning.
The guy boys, the dark side of gooning.
Is there a bright side of gooning?
I'm about to blow.
Hunter, I have something to tell you.
What is it, Mom?
Okay, I think this is just an ad. We are going to let it play, though, because I want to show as much respect to Papa Meat as I can. If you do not know this guy's called Papa Meat, please subscribe to him, show him the love. I am reacting to his video, and I love his content. Please check him out. We're going to let his ad run.
You may want to put that energy drink down. I don't think your heart can take it.
Well, Mom, I appreciate your concern, but I've actually been drinking Gamer Sup's raw meat blend that's non-caffeinated. While they do have a caffeinated option, both are equally delicious, so I think it should be okay.
Hunter, you're not my son.
Oh, wait, what?
What?
What? I don't
No
get
way you can be my son. Look at you. You're too big. I mean,
wow.
nobody is as fat as you in the family.
Jesus Christ, he's hitting it. I like it. Picture that's his mom.
Whoa there, little Debbie. Don't want you to slip into a diabetic stroke.
I'm sugar-free! And it's keto-friendly, Mom!
Don't call me that anymore. I just got back from the courthouse. Papers are signed. You're not my son.
I mean, they look the same. I mean, they look similar. I'm just saying.
Quit crying like that. It just makes you look so fat.
It just makes you look so fat. Jesus. That's a good ad. Papa Meat makes some good ads. Much respect,
You're probably
Papa.
asking yourself, well, Hunter, what is gooning? I'm sure that's what people are wondering. Let me explain. The act of gooning consists of cranking your hog for an absurdly long period of time without blossoming. Can we say ejaculating? I don't know. This can go on for hours or even days for some people. Hours into days.
What the hours to days? Listen, guys. If that is what that is, I am nowhere close to gooning. I do not, when I having self enjoyment time, self unstressing time, I do not go for hours. Hell, I probably don't even go for the hour. Most of the time, I think every time I do go for an hour is because I'm looking for something that I'm like, oh, something, I have something in my head, and I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. Or I have a specific video in my head and I'm searching for it because I can't find it anymore. Like, nowhere close to that, alright? I think most normal people get it out pretty quickly and then they go on with their day. If Gooning is doing it for that long and not stopping, that sounds like a problem. That sounds like a health problem, if anything.
Wrap your head around that one. The entire time, they're edging themselves to delay the sweet, sweet release. The blissful ecstasy.
Okay, it also has to do with... Okay. For a long time, I didn't know what edging was either. I had to look that shit up in the past. I'm like, that sounds like it could be fun. It makes sense when you're trying to please a partner, right? You're trying to please your partner and you don't want to finish quickly. That makes sense. You're kind of edging a little bit. But doing it here is just weird. What the hell?
That is to come. Doing this for long periods of time has been said to send these people into a hypnotic state, almost as if high on a strong drug, like Percocet.
What
Some
the
refer
heck?
to it as an out-of-body experience, or even a meditative experience at that. Others say that gooning allows them to experience the feelings of an orgasm for several hours at a time. That has to be borderline torture after a while. It's nice for a brief moment. Could you imagine it for hours on end?
No.
I don't like that.
The max I've gooned is an hour.
Why did he? I don't think he needed to share that whatsoever. I'm happy he did. I agree. I don't even think it. I think an hour is probably the most. Anymore, I don't believe ever happened. Also, and I'm probably being super generous. It's probably more like 20 minutes to 30, in my opinion. And if there is another 30, it was me because I'm literally. The video I found was just not doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? They pull off some crazy shit, right? She's having a good time, then she whips out something she wasn't supposed to whip out, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is when it's starting to get good.
I was getting ready to be like, you know, it's like Hellraiser. And I'm like, you're Pinhead. You're literally one of the fucking angels coming out of the box being like, we came. We have such sights to show you. When asked about the act, one experienced Gooner said, quote, as a very intelligent person who overthinks and overanalyzes every single thing, I sink into this Neanderthal state where I'm just like, me penis, me Gooner. So dumb. I'm just a primordial source oozing sexuality, oozing raw phallic vibes. Many Gooners refer to themselves as pornosexuals, as their love for adult videos exceeds their interest in the actual act of sex in real life. That's gotta be a problem.
Okay, that makes sense. So this is something I can talk about since I've seen this before. So basically, the reason you're not supposed to enjoy yourself, let's call it, is because you can have long-term effects where you can no longer get the same satisfaction from a partner or from partners in the future. So people go to this basically where they're no longer able to get excited with just people. It has to be the way of video to enjoy themselves. And usually this happens to people that don't have a lot of experience, sexual experience. They don't get to enjoy that very often, so they've been just constantly using videos, and it leads to them where if it's not a video, they can't enjoy themselves. It becomes like an illness, like a trigger. Basically, it's like if you do something to help make you do something else, it's a trigger, right? And this can be really bad when you're younger, because if you do this way before you ever have experience with a woman, and you're like, oh, I can't, when the moment comes you get to be with a woman and you can't perform or you can't anything, then it's gonna make you look really bad and make you think something's wrong with yourself. And it wasn't because of that, it's because you just overly, it doesn't happen to everybody. I'm not saying if you do that, that's what's gonna happen, but apparently it's becoming more common of a problem with some people. I never had that problem personally. I can get excited with a partner easily, not a problem. That is no big deal for me personally. But apparently it's becoming more of a problem. So hey, it can be a trigger. I guess it can be a lot of things. I'm just really good at dealing with a habit I have and just being like, no, push it away, But maybe it's a habit type of thing. Who knows? But yet that does happen. So just keep that in mind. Moderation, boys.
A bit of a problem, I would assume. In order to keep themselves fixated on gooning for as long as possible, some turn to drugs to improve the experience. One Redditor that was interviewed by Vice admits, quote, I love to use Adderall or Vyvanse when I goon. It gets you super hyper fixed on the porn and also very slightly dulls your sensitivity, making you stay on edge for literally fucking hours. Can you imagine watching that kind of content that long? It's boring, dude. The gooning sensation keeps going on. Or back up there. Oh, it comes crystal clear again. Which that same man later admits to gooning for 32 hours straight at one point.
Oh shit!
Only 2 breaks throughout the day to eat.
That is too much.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to take a nap. If you're playing around the monkey bars that long, you're gonna have to take a nap. All right?
Hell yeah, my brother, taking a nap.
Origins of gooning, right? I mean, listen. Since the dawn of time, you look down and you play with yourself. That's whatever. But gooning, especially, what is the origins of that?
Also, I want to make this clear as well. Don't be like, oh, if I do this, it's sinful. Because I know religious BS, right? All that stuff. You having self-pleasure is not weird. It's been happening for a long time. Cavemen did it. We have paintings from back in the day of people doing it. It's nothing new. Because everyone's like, oh, I don't do it. I guarantee they did it at least once. It's almost weird not to. You want to like feel comfortable in your own body as a human being. It's okay to do that. I'm not saying you did it and you were like, oh, you know, you knew what you were doing. I'm pretty sure when I first did it, I was just like, oh, this feels kind of good. And I did it. And I was like, huh, that was great. What the hell is this? And then you mature and realize what it was and blah, 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 right? But no, it's considered very healthy. Women do it as well. Trust me. More than you probably think. And yeah, hell, they probably do it more than guys do because they can keep going multiple times. But yeah, no, it is healthy. Do not overdo it, obviously. Everything in moderation, because too much of anything is bad for you. But no, you are not unhealthy for wanting to do so. You are human, all right? And if anything, if you don't do it, I knew a guy who never did it ever, and when it came to anything to do with that with a partner, he felt so weird and so shy, which is not very attractive to women most of the time nowadays, all right? I can guarantee you that.
Tracked on the origins of the word, many have pointed out that the earliest use was in the Urban Dictionary in 2005. Another user added an updated definition in 2012, which combined to form the meaning we have today, much like Latin to English. I'll read the updated description of what gooning is from 2012, and I quote, Gooning may be most simply defined as the state usually achieved after a prolonged edging session, which if you haven't heard of edging, we've already gone over that too. You're going to have to go back and watch the catalog. If anything, throw up a quick thing, that's it, that's all you get. When a man becomes completely hypnotized by the feeling radiating his penis, since a gooning state can only be achieved after edging, the man's dick will become mightily aroused at this point, and every caress the male genitals are subjected to will trigger potent elation. As the man keeps edging and thus keeps experiencing intense pleasure, he enters a state of trance where his mind ultimately merges with his cock, the gooning state, where he and his dick become one. When the gooning state is achieved, his body becomes, for all intents and purposes, an appendage to his erection. He may become very vocal, while his body and face might take an undignified expression and poses, all in response to the intensely exquisite caress his penis is exposed to. Hence the term goon. So basically it's just, you beat your dick and you go into a hypnotic stage where you're making clown faces so you look like a goober.
Wait, first of all, I want to make this clear. I thought this would be a great video to respond to, just so you guys can see that a lot of people use the word gooning now, and it's just become my pop word. Just like how a lot of things become pop words and people use it a lot more and it's really popular, like Riz and swag and all that stuff. It was just pop culture. This would always existed. It's just now being used more commonly to make fun of people or whatever, right? So people are using it and not even using it properly, right? I guarantee you, most people that are using the word gooning don't even know what it means. They just probably think, oh, you just jerk up to anime girls. You're a goon. You're gooning. No, like, this is insane. This is mental illness type of gooning. But I bet you some people do actually do it. I'm sure it's a very small amount, but I'm sure people actually do this, right? Because I'm assuming more you do this, less enjoyable it becomes. Because your body becomes used to it, so no longer it becomes enjoyable. Just like when you drink alcohol, you become tolerant to it, right? You build tolerance. And I'm sure this goes to this as well. So I'm just saying, like, anyone here that actually, does it quite a lot or whatever, I don't even think you're a goon. I'm pretty sure the people, if you're not going through some crazy trans and doing this weird shit, you are not a goon. I'm sorry. You are not a goon. And I'm saying this. This is on next time I'm saying, hey, you're not a goon. You're a healthy young man or woman, whatever. Good for you. Be healthy, moderation. Stay hydrated. Sam for America. Anyways.
Goon! It is believed that gooning skyrocketed in popularity during the COVID-19 pandemic as people needed a sexual outlet that didn't require being in contact with other people. Right?
No, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. That sounds
Gooning
makes
has
sense.
become somewhat of a group activity. While some people assemble their own groups to goon with in person, others utilize things like online Reddit groups and video calls. And it isn't uncommon
What?
for extreme gooners to stream the they watch over Discord to allow for seamless group gooning sessions. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I would do that with somebody.
No.
Maybe I'm not brave enough.
To get on a call and goon with someone.
To even like experience that kind of content and be like, oh, I like this one. Is this cool for everybody? I mean, do you do like a vibe check before? Is everyone cool with this one? Which, let's go over.
Okay. I did not know that people did that. First of all, if you're doing that, hey, I'm not gonna hate, but that is a little fucking weird. Alright. That's some threesome territory kind of stuff. And even that to me is a little weird. Okay? If you're doing that, I'm not gonna hate on you, but to me that's a little weird. I would never, and I doubt any of you guys do that. I doubt it. Oh my god, that's... Ugh. I'm getting images in my head, I don't even.
Some of the gooner slang that you might hear, you might see online, right? A goon sesh, which is an intense gooning session, sometimes involving other fellow gooners. Sometimes. Well, you know. Well, I guess you can have a goon sesh with yourself. If you're just gooning,
you're right.
is that a goon sesh?
Well,
When
I heard it's sometimes involving other gooners, for some reason I pictured it's just like involuntary, like they're not gooners as well. You're just beating off with other
Like,
people.
hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna beat off in here. Or goon state, the point of masturbation where you enter a sexual trance, experiencing intense sexual pleasure. That's like you getting ready to break. That's your goon state. I'm gonna try to figure that out. I'm gonna record myself next time. I'm gonna record my face. Goon mark, sexual or pornographic material that gooners bookmarks in order to...
Oh, I'm sorry, this is too much. I can't right now.
That's a big
This
thing
is
on
insane.
Twitter.
Oh, so on Twitter, people are like, oh, I'm goon marking this.
Well, people be just like, look at all the bookmarks.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest thing I'm seeing, like, the likes and reposts or whatever, but people are like, look at the bookmarks. It's like a catastrophically high number. Flicker goon. This better involve teleportation somehow. A meme and gooning technique based on the boxing technique known as the flicker jab. Some have explained this technique and incorporated it to their gooning sessions. I can goon for 8 hours straight. I can flicker goon for 7 seconds.
What the... What?
Good. Someone gives you of how to do it. It's like having Muhammad Ali right behind your ear, telling you how to do the little Texas two-step that he did in the ring, huh? Tense your arm up and make it start shaking. Jesus fucking...
Jesus.
Tiny little bit so that your fast twitch muscles make your arm bounce up and down. Then relax your...
Yeah, I don't know.
Relax your...
I'm sorry, what the
When you
fuck?
play games like Mario
What are they
Party,
on
where you have
about?
to mash a button really fast. It's the same fast twitch muscle response for you to use it for those games. Mario Party 3.
Yeah, what
Remember
the
how you had to
fuck?
button mash on that? Just apply it to your gooning session, dude. So flicker gooning is you just being like, where some guy's just like, oh, I could go for an hour. And the other guy's just like, I'm getting the job done that quick.
Isn't that the opposite of gooning though? Or is that like a finish?
That's being
That's what I
efficient,
think
boy. That
flicker
boy's
is like, I'm
efficient.
Well, unless the thing is when you flicker goon, it's like a M16 or something. It's like a burst. You're like, versus kind of having you have to go through the whole thing. Flicker gooning, I think, is someone who's just like totally in control. Or we could talk about people's goon caves. Goon caves have become an
What?
important part of the gooner culture. A goon cave is basically just the room that gooners use to participate in the act. Sometimes people say they're rooms. Sometimes people say they're cars.
That's just the place you normally do it, I guess. That would be like your bedroom or whatever, right? Like, okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that here in a bit. Experienced gooners have upgraded their setup to utilize multiple monitors in order to have multiple different porn videos looping at the same time.
What?
This way, gooners can avoid boring moments in an individual video by simply looking at another one, thus allowing them to goon unimpeded for countless hours. What I like about that
What
is
the hell?
Job scene. So tacky.
Hey, that's Goonie on like the extreme. You're min-maxing. You're min-maxing like on Genshin Impact, but you're Gooning. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, they look at another thing. Other comforting additions to a goon cave may include sex toys, snacks, and copious amounts of lube. Why do you need the snacks?
You get hungry, dude. If you're
So-
there for
so-
hours,
Mid jab, num num num.
Meditating, or am I like lounging? Like in a Buddhist temple, do they have a fucking box of Teddy Grahams on the back? I doubt it. If you're trying to get to an enlightened state, I'm not thinking about fruit roll-ups with fucking ring pops, dude. I'm thinking about seeing God. I mean, you could have like a shrimp cocktail thing around your cock there. I'm not touching any food and putting anything near my mouth during that session. Can you
Yeah,
imagine,
no,
like,
that
getting
makes
off and with
sense.
that same hand, you're like,
I also don't do such a thing. I also don't even drink water when I done that before because I feel nasty. I feel like I need to immediately clean myself up afterwards, which is usually why I take a shower.
have like a bag of Doritos. You're like, you know what I mean? There's no way
Ew.
you're gonna have that mess up, dude. I mean, you know.
Yeah, and also you shouldn't do that. Yeast infections are very real. Mostly, yeast infections are even more common in women. But yeah, no, you do not want a yeast infection anywhere near your area. That seems very. I've never experienced it, but let's say I've heard of people that have, and let's say it's not great.
Talk about how gooning and stuff, you go into a very transfixed, meditative state, elevated state of that. But I do think there are the negative side effects of gooning, my friends. It's worth bringing those up as well. People who are addicted to gooning can experience similar side effects to that of porn addiction. These side effects include erectile dysfunction, decrease in sex drive for real-life partners, an insatiable desire to watch porn at all times, isolating oneself due to decline of healthy social skills, pushing your sexual preferences to the extremes, and of course, depression. You beat off so much, you're just like, I'm sad. It's so weird to me, which you do whatever the f you, I don't give a f, but more so the idea that someone's just like, I need to tell someone that I'm beating off. Maybe someone will want to come over. You know?
Yeah, no, it can be very unhealthy, guys. Everything in moderation. All those things I mentioned, yeah, that like it can be negatives, right? Of course, it's not everybody. I'm not saying if you do it, that's what's gonna happen. If you're being healthy about it, doing it once in a while, being healthy, once a week, maybe once maybe twice, even every 2 weeks or whatever. It's probably healthy. You're probably fine. It's so weird. It's so weird. But be healthy, guys. Moderation.
What I mean, or that someone on the internet's just like, hey, yeah, I'm right by there. Let me come over. Or even just be like, you want to get on Skype? It's addiction.
do you think it's a cry for help when people are like, yeah, this is my gooning cave? Help me.
I think a lot of this always stems from people who are wanting attention, is what I think. Not in a way where it's like, oh, I'm desperate, but I think people just fucking want like a buddy. But then you're all horned up all the time. Like maybe you want a girlfriend or something. You want a relationship or you want some kind of outlet, or you have a unhealthy attachment to that media where it's completely like it's fabricated, like fantasy that nothing will ever be able to compete to, is what I think. But a big thing and a big reason that I wanted to talk about this is one, because it's funny, but then also two, because something happened recently that sparked a new term for gooning. I'm of course talking about the goonicide of 2025.
The goonicide? What? I don't even know what.
What a way to start off the year.
That was a crazy way to start the year. Goonicide. If you don't know, let me just tell you about it. Recently, a man named Nautica Malone pulled up to Bikini Beans Coffee with his pants off before being told to leave by the baristas filming on her phone. It's basically like a Hooters for coffee. It's like a Hooters Starbucks, basically. You see those a lot on like the West Coast. There's a lot of them in like Portland and Seattle, or I think this one was in like Arizona. If you're in Arizona, it's usually hot. It is what it is. You're seeing your titties are out. You get coffee.
Yeah, the coffee's not
Ew.
good.
People suspected that the man was
Hooters.
gooning in his car. People were thinking that this guy was just beating his dick off. And let me tell you, when he peered around at the beginning of that video, nothing but smiles. It is assumed in the video that the man has exposed himself to the baristas at the Bikini Bean on multiple occasions. They're coming out hot with that phone recording because they're just like, there's the fucking black Honda Civic again, or whatever he was driving in. You know what I mean? We're recording him this time. People were quick to ridicule the man, and parents in the Arizona Moms Helping Other Moms on Facebook group were able to identify the man and contact his wife. Cold. Ice cold.
Why is that video getting posted in the Facebook moms thing?
I think some of those moms are a little freaky. We're talking about goon sessions and people Skyping calls.
And you know what? I agree. Some of the moms that are online now, since they have all the time in the world, they're usually the ones saying mean stuff, or usually the killjoys on a lot of things on the internet. But man, they see some hot guy online, they're like, PewDiePie, you're looking kind of hot. I'm just saying, these old ladies are kind of wild. I believe that 100%.
You're trying to tell me that a Facebook moms group isn't getting together and they're just like, did you guys see this? I mean, there's some scandalous shit in there. Mark's mowing his lawn again, shirtless. Or drive by, hey Mark. But in doing so, by contacting the guy's wife, it was discovered that Nautica had taken his own life.
Oh,
and it's
what?
suspected that he did so in order to avoid being humiliated online from this viral video because it was catching on like a wildfire. But before ending his life, Nautica left a note saying this, quote, "I apologize. I love you, Queen. I made a mistake and I don't think I'll be able to face you and the babies. I don't know why I drove through like that. My mental has been f***ed up. I am not a monster, and I apologize. I love you forever. If I am in critical condition, please pull the plug. To all my family and friends, I love you and I'm so
What the
sorry.
hell?
I love my kids and family. Please forgive me."
Wow.
Is that not fucking tragic? Listen, I'm not advocating for the guy to do what he...
Yeah, no. I'm not saying the guy should have did what he did, but Jesus, man. To end it all because of that? That's a bit much. And I get it, right? This is what people don't realize. A lot of people do end it all after, because things on social media, basically. They think social media is the entire world, especially when something goes viral and they think, I hate my life. When they don't realize, probably in literally a few months, they're going to basically be non-existent again because there'll be something else to look at, right? It's not that bad. Yes, something on the internet will last forever, but if you lay low, you'll be fine. Like, it really doesn't matter that much. I'm not saying he should have did what he did, but to him, his family, his wife, that's so disappointing. Anyone that loses their life, it's always sad. Especially if something so stupid like this. Like, come on, dude. Don't do that. If you guys ever need help, ever need somebody to talk to, my DM's always open. Don't do anything stupid like this. Alright, you're loved, you're cared for, trust me.
did, but at the same time, that's just horrible. Sad. Which even the fucking Bikini Beans company had to make a statement about it, a public statement. And it says, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the individual involved during this difficult time. This was an unfortunate and tragic situation. As a company, the safety of our employees is always our top priority, and in this case, an individual chose to commit a crime at one of our locations. We take the instance like this very seriously and remain committed to protecting our team and maintaining a safe, respectful environment. Thank you for your continued support." I don't disagree with anything they said. Is it even necessary to post that? People are going to be flooding your comments for a small period of time. Is it even worth posting that? Because basically what they're saying is like, bummer, your husband and dad killed himself, but he did break the law, and that's just what we have to deal with. It's just, is that even worth posting?
It's probably some kind of corporate thing where it's just like, we gotta say something.
Yeah,
Sure. I'm just saying,
definitely,
would
definitely.
you post that? To me, it's unnecessary.
They're just like,
The
oh,
guy
we gotta
showed
stop
up,
him.
He did what he did. We all want to move past it. Why even put that out there?
Maybe to calm the angry Gooners.
I mean, maybe. Because
The angry
in
Gooners,
response
boys.
to
We're getting
Nautica's
them.
Death, a Twitter user posted an invitation for a Gooneral, which is a Gooner funeral, to be hosted at the coffee shop. That's maybe why you have to put out those statements, okay? Yeah, the Gooneral with a fucking dove. On the day of the Gooneral, a large group of people gathered together to mourn the death of Nautica, which attendees even chanted, "Goon in peace."
Wait, guys, they were dressed up in
Candles
suits.
with Nautica's face on
They were guys in suits. What the hell?
them and created signs that said, "Rest in peace, Goon Lord, the last Goon." I mean, dude.
The last goon.
Unfortunately, the Gooner only lasted 30 minutes before it had to be shut down by the police. Honestly, though, pretty good turnout. But this did not stop one brave Nautica supporter. One hero decided to roll up and give his support the way he knew how. The next few days, he went back to Bikini Coffee Bean and filmed himself protesting in the drive-thru of the coffee shop's pantless, shouting, "I can't goon."
I can't goon. What? What? What?
Let me tell you something. This is not the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not what you should have done.
Once again, this is a crime. He's pantsless again, and you're screaming at people being like, "I can't goon." They're serving coffee. He later did the same thing in a nearby In-N-Out.
What?
He's just getting out there living free. Because of this event, Nautica's
What
memory
the
now
fuck?
lives on through memes and GTA recreation videos. Horrible, man. It's just sad. I mean, here's the thing. That guy obviously was mentally not well. You maybe even go back and you're like, "I'm sorry." You get arrested, you do something, whatever. You can be like, "That was a fuck up. Shouldn't have done that."
I don't think he would have got arrested. They probably would have fined him or something, blah, blah, blah. And he probably just wouldn't be allowed to go there again. Cool, whatever, like. But yeah, no, like, that was a moment. He was clearly not right in the head, and that's fine. Guys, listen. We all have our problems, guys. We all have problems. We all have issues. If you need help, ask for help. Don't think you're alone. You're never alone. Everyone has issues, and I guarantee you probably have an issue someone else has had at some point. You are not alone. You're good. Like, there's no reason to go that far ever.
You just move on or you just never go back there again and you move on with your life. It's just a bummer. And to leave wife and kids, just such a drag. Very sad. Which leads us into our next section, Gooner behavior. That feels weird. After talking about this thing, gooning is a funny thing. That story is kind of heavy. I feel gross. I feel sick inside. With that said, let's talk about some of the prime examples of gooner behavior, how people behave in the gooning community. My roommate is perfectly fine for the most part and is usually polite, cleans up, and doesn't smell like what's NSC.
I tried looking it up. Non-single,
Non-single, I don't know. Editor, if you know what NSC means, put it up. Apparently he didn't smell like that. Every night around 2 a.m., he starts watching anime porn on his phone and beats it under the covers. It's painfully obvious, and sometimes he even makes weird moaning noises. I tried telling him one day that he's got to stop his nightly habit, and he just said that he doesn't know what I'm talking about. And then he did it again that night. What do I even do about this? I don't want to make enemies because other than that late night goon sessions, he's a pretty nice guy. First off, I want to say right now, this is a very classic college guy thing. It's the kind of guy who's like, you get in a fist fight with somebody and all of a sudden you're like buddies and you're drinking beers over. It's like, yeah, I mean, besides the thing about him like beating off, I mean, I can't see it, so he's not a bad guy. He's fine. And he helps me with homework. I don't know. He's cool.
What do you think?
Yeah, it just seems like he needs to, release, and he's doing it in a weird place. Maybe wait when your homie isn't there. But yeah, sometimes you can't. I completely understand.
His noises when he's in there.
I will say, making like a little fucking Fifth Sense camping tent out of your covers and off to anime, that's a bold choice to do. It's just one thing. We've said it before. We need to say it again. Bring back shame. People don't have any. They just don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. That's all I can sense is people just being. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I couldn't care less. Because even the guy's too embarrassed to bring it up. He's like, can you stop your nightly habit? And he's like, what do you mean? Which part? What? Me sleeping? Bro, I gotta get up. I have like a lot of exams. He's basically being like, you have to tell me specifically what I'm doing wrong or else I'm not going to stop. We go into another story of Stellar Blade and the Gathering of the Gooner. These feel like novels. They feel like collections in a series, you know what I mean? In 2024, the action-adventure game Stellar Blade was released. And became a big
we know what
success
Stellar
amongst
Blade
gamers.
is.
However, before its release, one decision made by the developers became the result of endless Gooner controversy. What do you think it was? Go ahead and show the image of the old one.
I have a feeling it was probably because they censored the game. I'm pretty sure. I think I've heard about this before. I didn't personally get to play Stellar Blade, so I don't know too much. Well, I know you might be like, wow, you didn't play Stellar Blade? What kind of goon are you? I'm not a goon. I don't want to be part of this weird cult that's going on right now, all right?
They updated something new. What do you think they got mad about? What kind of game change?
They made it way too easy.
Well, it's too easy to play now. The game's protagonist...
I couldn't play with one hand. Come on.
The game's protagonist, Eve, was designed to be a strong, sexy woman with a wide variety of revealing clothing to choose from, okay? Look at the old ones, all right? She's a strong, independent, sexy woman, and she has a lot of revealing clothes.
She's very strong. She's gore bossing. What do you mean? That she's so comfortable in her own skin. She's good.
See, that's Eve. Shift Up Games, the developers, marketed the game on violence, sex, and sex appeal, right? All the good and its ability to remain as an uncensored experience in all regions. Gamers assumed that uncensored referred to things such as in-game outfits. But when the game was released, however, it came alongside a day one patch.
No.
That claimed to not only reduce
Don't patch the
violence,
game. Wait, what? Why would they reduce the violence? Oh, point of an action game is enjoying the violence. The hell?
but alter the outfits of Eve, the protagonist, to cover up more of her skin.
That's so lame. I want to make this very clear. I do not support censoring any game at any point. I do not agree to that. I am super against that. Let the developers make the game they want. Let them release it the way they want. Don't let Sony or whatever censor the fucking game. No. Don't do that. I don't mean, it doesn't have to be that. They censor games for really dumb stuff too. It doesn't in reality really matter. But just the concept. If you give them a pinky, they're going to take the entire arm. Don't do that. Don't let companies do that. Release your art and release your creations the way they were meant to be. Don't let these companies ruin it for you. I'm very pro uncensorship, all right? Do not censor games. Don't do that.
The woke left won again.
The woke left. The woke left claims another one. Thanks a lot, Biden's America.
I thought you were gonna say Obama.
There was an uproar online, and a petition was created titled "Free Stellar Blade." Her clothes are keeping her captive to plead for the game to return to its original build. The petition received 95,000.
Oh my god.
Was this on?
That is a lot of people. Holy crap. A lot of people actually gave a damn. And you know what? This is probably one of the bigger signatures for something so dumb I've seen on the internet. But I guarantee you a good, probably 70% of those were just people that legit were like just anti-censorship. Because I would sign that just because I'm anti-censorship. Even if I didn't care about the cause. Just censor me any game. Don't do that. Come on.
Change.org too.
I mean, maybe. Change.org. What has Change.org done? I want to know.
Oh.
Many Turbo Gooners sent over videos alongside their petition signatures so they could voice their concerns over the game's censorship in regard to the sexy outfits. God damn it! Fuck! Which I want to watch one of these.
Oh no.
This petition is not only to free Stellar Blade, but to send a clear message to Sony, Nintendo.
There's no way this is real. There's no way my man is sitting here, one Zelda frame, and then an American flag. He looks like he's at his grandpa's house. Does this not look like a
Yeah, it looks like this guy might be living, might be in college doing this. I'll make clear he probably is. But maybe he just really loves America. I'm not going to hate it. God bless America.
grandpa's house?
Yeah, that's definitely his grandpa's.
And the rest of the publishers in the gaming industry, that we players will not tolerate any form of censorship moving forward. Thank you.
Feels like he's running for school council, doesn't he? Though he's talking, he's like, I could be your president, and I'm going to make sure it's chicken patty every Wednesday.
He kind of sounds like Christian.
Oh,
Oh,
stop.
and the smirk at the end. The smirk at the end's good, dude.
Okay, he was trying to go, don't hate on him too much. He was clearly trying to speak the message I would kind of speak. Hey, don't let the industry censor your games. No matter what it is, okay?
What's that fucking, like, communist photo people use of the like, Cuban guy? Che? It's like that.
Oh.
You could have an outline of his face made that way where it's like, stop mindless censorship.
Abby from The Last of Us, Cyberpunk, Baldur's Gate. Full frontal nudity.
That's true.
Full jiggle physics. Full hardcore sex scenes. Not an ounce of it censored. Stellar Blade, 17 costumes. 17 were censored and added mesh to different areas so that they didn't show too much ass. Blood was also heavily censored.
Okay, that's
We got
dumb.
baited and switched out. We got lied to. It's false advertisement. Remember, 17 costumes. Fight for it and let's win this.
Listen, that video was pretty good. If this was a really insane cause, I'd be like, holy crap, that man's spitting fire. But we let him cook, and it was a little too... Fool was making a grilled cheese, but serving it like it was a gourmet restaurant. Listen, dude, that's a bit much. For me personally, I see why it's a little goofy and funny. But I respect the cause. And he's right. A lot of those games do have frontal nudity. Yes, 17 outfits and blood, for God's sakes, in this game was a bit too much. Little BS. Even though I love all those games, like Baldur's Gate 3. But man, that was pretty extreme for me.
Remember the 5th of November. Because that makes me think if it's a guy font. Well, let me ask you this, honestly. If the whole point of your game is like, you get to play as a big woman with a fat ass, and you get to like go around and be half naked and kick someone's ass, and you built your franchise on that, and then the new game is censored, do you think that people are actually losing anything, or do you think people are just like, if your consumer base is a bunch of horny men? Because, I mean, I'm sure the violence or whatever is fine still.
Yeah,
but
like,
it's
for
just
real.
covering them up.
I think you're dishonest. You lied to the people. It's like a politician lying.
I think
you
it's
already
true.
pre-ordered your game and you get it and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, like every iteration before this, I've had giant asses and titties flopping around, comically flopping around everywhere. And then now, what the hell is this?
I think you have a right.
Yeah, no, I do think on level when they went out of the way to make them say, hey, we're not going to censor anything. We're going to have it the way it was meant to be. Support us. And then you support it and it wasn't that. I get it, right? It's like saying, a girl saying like, hey, let's smash when you go to her house. And then she's like, then you're actually just playing Smash. You're like, this is not what I asked for. You baited me. Of course you're going to feel a little hurtful, especially spending your money. which is why I don't personally pre-order too many games anymore, unless I'm 100% sure. It's like me pre-ordering Monster Hunter Wilds, right? And then they give me some Chinese copycat of the game. I'm just like, this isn't Monster Hunter Wilds. What the fuck? You lied to me. You baited me. You took my money. I would be a little messed up too. It's just more funny because clearly people are buying this game for a specific reason. And they're not getting that. So people are laughing at them, but they did spend money. I get it completely. I understand why they're a little pissed off.
Right, to be upset, to be hurt.
I think you have a right to be upset and be hurt. At the same time, you could also, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's still a huge, it's underneath the shirt, right?
Hell yeah.
Is that not enough?
It's not
Are they
enough.
in like bikinis before?
It's like covering up the boobs. I like the boob window.
So you're like, you want to see the creases of the boobs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh!
Yeah. Did we just get totally bought in by the people being like, you should fight for this? Also, I want to say, too, about The Last of Us. Hardcore sex scenes.
Full frontal nudity.
Blood and gore.
Full jiggle physics.
Full gratuitous sex scenes.
Full hardcore sex scenes.
I mean, what the fuck are we advocating for here? Which
Yeah.
I think it's important to stick into the gooning area of gaming, because our next subject is Zenless Zone
Oh.
Zero and the disappearance.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't even know you talked about this. I'm glad we're talking about this. You guys will actually know about this.
Butt controversy. It's like a Harry Potter book. Zenless Zone Zero, a game created by MiHoYo, is an anime action role-playing game that is well known for being a Gooner game for its sexualized characters. It's a Gooner game. Happens market to market. You want to make money or not? In a recent patch release, the game was altered to make players unable to move the camera to look at the character's ass.
And you guys remember what happened to this, right? They say it was a bug. I don't believe it was a bug because literally they walked back on it real goddamn quick. If this was a bug, I'm just saying it feels like if it was a intentional bug to see what people react, and man, did people react. I'm hoping he talks about that a little bit. I remember people were up in arms. I think it took them less than 24 hours or something to fix this. It was wild. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I wasn't even mad. I didn't even care, honestly. I was like, okay, who cares? And I'm a person that does look up upskirts every once in a while for funsies. I think it's fun, you know? See how far you can push this, right? Like the Firefly upskirt. I'm just saying. Someone designed that under Firefly's skirt, alright? I'm just saying. Someone designed that. I hope that man was paid very well. Good man.
Asses. What the f is going on? When attempted to reach certain angles of the characters, their entire model would fade away. The response from the game's Gooner fanbase was overwhelmingly horny. All right, there's a little chat log here. It says,
oh,
they
no.
even added the jiggle to Zhu Yan. Can't even enjoy it, man. You know what, though? Fair.
You know what? I 100% agree. Fair. Look at that policeman girl go. Fair.
I just say that? If you're taking time to be like, you walk around, the ass is like, it's doing one of these. If I was an animator on that, I would be like, I want people to be all up in it. Doesn't mean you have to show.
Hell yeah, get it, boy.
At least, you know, get in there. I was trying to think they're holding the game controller and flicker gooning. You know what I mean? You're rotating the camera with this hand.
Oh shit, I can't.
Whoa. On the bright side, yes, I checked. Jane's jiggle remains unchanged and just as jiggly as ever. It's unfortunate that I may only see it from afar. Edit, afar. To afar. This is definitely a...
Got him, boys.
God. Go to 6th Street, walk close and slowly by the stairs with Jane, then turn slowly your camera and enjoy the close-up of booty cheeks. Can be done with other characters too. And with Rena, you can just spin in place and look through the slit of her skirt for a nice surprise. Bro's an expert.
Yeah.
The response was so extreme.
Bro is an expert. I respect that. He min-maxing the goon, and I respect that shit. Get it, my dude. I actually did something similar on the first week of Zenless Zone Zero. I was like, okay, how many of these are gonna have shorts? How many of these girls are gonna have shorts under their skirts? And how many times is it gonna fade, right? And basically, did everyone, or they just basically had a black void in their vagina. However, then there's that one girl, the girl that works at the smoothie place, right? She's always in the thing. I forgot her name already. It's been a little while. But she was like the only girl that actually had like underwear under her skirt, or like shorts, but more detailed, like Firefly level of detail. And I was like, oh my, we got him, boys.
extreme and so negative that MiHoYo caved in 24 hours. They were like, all right, fine. Creating a hot fix that fixes the game's disappearing
Told you.
asses. Truly a day for the Gooning gaming community that people were like, we fought and we won. Might not have happened with Stellar Blade, but god damn it, they won on this day.
It's like Independence Day.
And sometimes we have to talk about royalty, right? We're talking about how barbaric
What?
these things seem to be.
What?
Well, let's talk about the Gooner King. Mysterious man was first spotted in his natural habitat at an AVN Adult Entertainment Expo standing near Black Raw booth. God damn. I want to say right now, we went to the AVNs. We got invited there with Bad Dragon, and it was nothing again. I want to make sure I preface this. Nothing against people in the industry. It's a you know, it is what it is. I was so uncomfortable. I was looking at the floor the entire time. It was just that. It was suffocating.
I've never been to one of these, but I hear if you just want to see straight up naked people in the open, that is the place to go, basically. You would not go there with kids. Let's just say that. And I also hear some crazy stuff happens. Some of these girls hook up with these weird guys. It's almost like it's like a pride thing. And I'm like, oh, this place sounds fancy. But yeah, no, I personally never gone, and I think I would also feel very uncomfortable. It's a bit much. Like, I don't want anyone just look at me naked. So them just showing you on purpose, I'm like, you're making me feel a little uncomfortable. Just a little
too
bit.
much of it. And two, I was like, this feels wrong. So I just kept kind of like looking at the ground. You like look up for a second.
Yeah,
like, some like kind of like middle-aged guy like putting his like face in a girl's ass, and she's like, eat it. That thing. I didn't care for it. Nick
What?
Got whipped by a dominatrix.
It's true.
There's all videos on my phone of like little outings like this where I'm like, this will be in a lawsuit later on in my life, I feel like. He was soon identified as J-Man. He's a big adult content fan. Some might say the biggest. And J-Man does not miss a single adult expo or adult award vote.
Look at that photo.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
That's just a haunting individual. Like when I think of someone, you know, nothing against him. Well, I guess it is kind of against him. Sorry, buddy, but if someone said, yeah, I work at a haunted house, that would be the kind of guy who I'm like, of course. He's like, yeah, my free time I dress up and I like to scare people. Apparently, he is such a frequent visitor to these events that people in the industry recognize him, and in general, have only positive things to say about the man. Always very respectful and cordial, a true fan and enjoyer of the art.
Hey, you know what? I was a little worried he was going to be a little bit of a weirdo. Hey, he's respectful. He enjoys it for what it is, and he's kind, and everyone actually likes him. Hey, good for you. If you can enjoy this type of stuff and be a mature adult. That's what I try to think of myself as. I can enjoy that sort of thing, but also still be an adult about it. Like, be an adult, guys. You're still in the end, you're still to be part of society, and you doesn't mean you can't just be an adult and be like, hey, thank you, for your work. Have a good one. I enjoy your stuff. You look great. Easy. You don't have to be all weird about it. Like, I get it. It's exciting, but don't get too excited. You know what I'm saying? Oh!
Good man. But the real crowning achievement of this sommelier is his IMDb account with more than 20,000 adult movie reviews.
Oh, what a Chad.
At one point, he was the #1 reviewer on the entire website. And he's...
Hey, you know what? I bet you if you need some good recommendation, he got you. He'd be like, I got you, homie. And I'd be like, yes, my boy.
Still active to this day, often posting around 5 reviews daily.
Oh
How
my...
do you find that? There's a lot of stuff out there. How do you even have the bandwidth to find that much new shit? Especially to have it be tagged in with IMDb. God damn. J-Man takes his work very seriously. His deep understanding of the industry and sheer encyclopedia knowledge allows him to craft real, passionate, and informed critical reviews.
Wow.
He's a scholar. He's a scholar, Nick. He looks at the art. The art, it's actually art. But, we've been harking on a lot of gamers.
Okay, yeah, no, that's wild. That's very wild. And you know what? I got nothing but hate for the guy. I got nothing but respect for the guy. I'm not gonna hate. Hey, good for you, man. You enjoy that and you know your time. Hey, you know what? If you're gonna go to that extreme, you might as well do it in a great way and also be well liked by everyone around you. I bet you, I guarantee you, he's smashed some of those women. Guarantee you. And I'm my boy. Nothing but love, my brother. Nothing but love.
Guy gamers and stuff. There's one thing that we're missing that's very important. Women! Gooners! That's right, ladies. People like to say, it's like thing, I don't fart. I'm a woman. I don't fart. I'm a woman. I don't goon. Yeah, fucking right, dude.
Yeah,
and
eat my dick.
Think that gooning is a sport only for men. But my friends, you would be very wrong. In fact, based on smut talk...
If I learned anything, girls oh, some of the horniest people in the world. You might be like, oh, it's guys, it's guys. No, they're just horny a lot. That's it. Well, women might not be get as well. No, I think that's true. I think they can be just as what's called. They are the most passionate about this stuff because they can go multiple rounds easily. And trust me, I Love and D Space taught me anything. These girls, they going in there. They in, boys.
Alone, a very popular thing that we like to talk about on this. I love it. I love talking about it. There are arguably just as many women goonettes as there are men gooners out there. Some even have elaborate setups next to their bedsides in order to read hands-free for maximum goonage. Hands-free reading.
In the vid.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I know this. I've heard this from a woman before, or a girl I knew before. She was like, yeah, I actually prefer just the heated novels is what she called it. And it was like, does it have pictures? No. I just read it, it's so sexy, and I'm like, what? I think for guys we're more visual, but I think for some girls it doesn't have to be as visual for them to enjoy. It's like they get into a deeper level of it, you know. They have extended the goon.
Video, it's crazy. She has like a little stand. She puts the iPad on, and then she has like a Wii like remote to scroll.
It's like fucking Hector Salamanca. She's in her fucking bed.
Flicker Goonie.
Yeah,
Oh my
Flicker Goonie.
God.
Every woman in their bed just. Yeah, with their fucking Wii remote. Do you think it's an audiobook then too? Wouldn't that make sense if it was an audiobook?
Well,
Yeah, that would make sense.
but
Yeah.
Put in your headphones and you're just listening to it. Oh.
Maybe she likes the fantasy.
It's the reading aspect. It's being immersed into a book. Yeah, but just like a game. It's like playing a game and
Yeah, no, I agree on that. When you find a good book, you can get immersed and lost to it. It's like in a video game or in something, right? You can get really immersed into it. That I can understand. You know, I'm like, oh, this book is so good. Reading the Overlord Volume 14, oh, it's so good. Like, I would need more. I'm so addicted to it. I think that's what happens when you find such a good game. You just lose yourself in it for a while. You just keep going. You forget to use the restroom. You forget to eat, you know? Help me. Help. It's I can understand that.
I mean, it's counterintuitive a bit, but it's the process. Women are also flocking to AI chatbots in order to get their gooning fix.
Oh.
On spicychat.ai, that's a real thing. The #1 chatbot on the site is called All Boys Dorm. Side note, someone on here made a Meet Cannon and Melvin's Macabre chatbot to goon to. I don't think we need to put that... I don't think we need to make that public. There's even the infamous tomb of Victor Noir in France. The tomb features a statue of Victor lying on his back and displays an unusually large bulge in his trousers. The size of the bulge became infamous and has now become a symbol of sexual happiness and fertility. It's a place where people go, and if you want to have a baby, you go up there and you fucking wee.
That's so dumb. But yeah, no, you know what? I learned that too. Yeah, you would think like a lot of guys were using AI bots. No, apparently it's a lot of girls that use these AI bots more than anybody, which blew my mind. I was like, oh, probably most of you guys know. You'd be surprised that it's heavily women based because they enjoy, you know, making up their own stories, which makes sense, right? I think books have always been, oh, a girl wants a good book, right? Well, the guy watches football, right? It's very old America, right? Old style, right? I think that makes sense. And a lot of girls I know just read books. They enjoy reading books. And I'm like, that makes sense to me, right?
Little pickle deal. Women travel to the cemetery to plant a kiss on his lips and tenderly caress his bulge in order to increase their pregnancy chances. You know, dude, that's a fun little superstition. I like that. That's a fun little urban legend. Why not, dude? It's a fucking statue. After getting pregnant, many women will return to the statue and pay respects for helping them. Thank you.
What? What?
There's also been many accounts of women grinding on the statue for good luck, which we can't show the picture, but there it is. Also, if you look at the deal, his crotch is totally wax clean, and so is his nose and lips, which makes you, why is his nose wax clean, you might ask? I don't know. But my friends, there is Gooner addiction, right? We talk about people's obsessive habits, people's rituals, and their caves, and their fucking boats, and all coming out, whatever fucking else we said. But there is addiction. Some Gooners have gone off the deep end into extreme addiction, face serious repercussions, right? One that's so severe that once again, as every nice Papa Me video, we kind of end on such a happy note. A U.S. man kills parents over a cam girl.
What?
Were you having a good day? I just wanted to spoil that for you. Grant Amato was a 29-year-old man from Orlando, Florida, with such a severe porn addiction that he spent $250,000 on a Bulgarian cam girl. Over the course of 3 months, he stole $150,000 from his parents and $60,000 from his brother Cody in order to fuel his addiction. When that ran out, he eventually took out $65,000 on his house to continue his gooning craze. Upon finding out about the stolen money, Grant's parents gave him an ultimatum. He must complete a 60-day internet and sex addiction program or leave the family home. They also told him that he would have to stop communicating with the Bulgarian cam girl. That's where if you're trying to remove the fucking bees, the hornet's nest or whatever, don't kick it, dude.
Yeah, plus not only that, I'm like, the guy already went $250,000 deep in this girl. I mean, he better at least get some, I'm
Grant
saying.
felt that this was unfair and disregarded his parents' wishes as he viewed her as his girlfriend, which I'm sure in a lot of ways people do. He
Well,
might
yeah,
not
he
come
spent
out
so
and
much
said,
money
"It's my
into her."
girlfriend," or maybe dead. I feel like a lot of people, even if they don't think about it, I think that's how they subconsciously think about these online relationships. And on the night of January 24th, 2019, his father confronted him and told him to leave the house. The next morning, his mom, dad, and brother were all found dead with execution-style wounds. Grant shot his mother in the back of the head while she was on her computer, then waited for his dad to enter the kitchen before shooting him twice. He then called his brother Cody and convinced him to come home from his nursing shift. And when he arrived, he shot him in the head and then tried to stage the scene of the crime as a murder side by placing the gun near Cody's body. Grant was arrested on January 26th for
What an
3 charges
idiot.
of first-degree murder, and he was eventually found guilty and is receiving 3 life sentences. When asked if he felt remorse, Grant responded with, "My family has been blaming me for months for ruining their lives, stealing and not knowing the rules of the home, so I might as well be blamed for this too." Ladies and
What?
gentlemen, I just love
Dude, you're an idiot. You are the bad person here. What victim as hell, victim blaming? What the?
to end on a nice positive note like that. Gooning has made a little home on the internet. Now, I think Gooning has made a mansion on the internet. I think it's a huge base of people that it dictates their lives in little ways, you know. And I think that everybody might goon a little bit here and there, but I think the thing becomes, with anything in life, moderation is key, ladies and gentlemen. Have I ever gooned and seen the face of God through meditative experiences? No. Have I ever gone into a hands-free gooning session with a book and a Wii controller? No. Have I ever rolled up and shot my parents in the head for giving money to a cam girl? No, I haven't either. But all I gotta say is this: moderation is key. If you're gonna goon, do it in the privacy of your home. Don't do it in a dorm room. Goon and goon well. You can't stop yourself from gooning. So I just gotta say, I don't know, dude. Keep it at a bare minimum.
Goon on, brothers. Goon on.
Yeah, that goon on, brothers and sisters.
Okay, so once again, you guys can see this is Papa Meat. Please subscribe to him, like the video. I'll also have the link to the description to his video, like his as well. If you want to like mine too, that'd be awesome. But yeah, no, guys, moderation, guys. We're all human. It's healthy to do that kind of thing. Trust me, it's healthy. You don't want to be the person that has never, because I think it's kind of odd, because you might feel unsafe with yourself or feel uncomfortable with yourself, which is, as a guy, you don't want that. You want to feel pretty comfortable in your own body, right? So I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying, don't be ashamed, all right? You're a human being. It's okay to have release. Trust me, a lot of people probably have release. Probably people you don't even think would probably have more than once. So once again, guys, moderation. Moderation, please. Alright, this was an hour react video here. I gotta edit the hell out of this. But thank you guys for being here. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff you guys usually do. And remember, there's only two kinds of people in this world. Become the third. And I want to see you guys next time.